There's something in my eye, but I'm being really brave about it. The show must go on. Today I have a standard issue podcast episode for you. This is gonna be a little bit crazy for me, not for you. Well, I can't guarantee that. Today is the start of the Puget Sound local yarn store tour. So literally right after I finish filming this, I will be heading out, hitting the road, as the kids say, to go hit a few of the yarn stores on the tour. There are 25 stores on the tour. 25. Is that not too many? I'm sorry. With peace and love, that feels like too many. And some of them are like one in Bellingham, which is almost 3 hours from Seattle. There's one in Port Townsend, which is across a ferry and a good almost 3 hours away. There's one on Whidbey Island, which you have to like reserve a ferry from Port Townsend to get to Whidbey Island. It's insane. Point being, it's unreasonable and also crazy. So I will not be completing the tour, completing the passport. I'm gonna do what I can, and I will be bringing you guys along for that. So if you see me wearing the same outfit, no you don't, thank you. So I need to make this a little bit snappy so I can get going on that. But today I wanted to check in with you guys on just some like standard issue podcast stuff. We have finished object, singular, many a whip, and a couple little acquisitions. So let's just jump right in. For finished objects, I have one, technically two. I finally finished my vanilla socks. Yay for me. This took an obscenely long time. I don't know why these took so long. In fact, let me pull up the Ravelry. I've been getting a lot better about using Ravelry, which I am proud of myself for. Oh my god. I cast these socks on February 9th. I finished them April 29th. That's ridiculous. Okay, clearly I wasn't working on these very frequently, in my defense, but here they are. That's the point. They're done. And for these guys, I used the Scranton Stitchers sock base in the colors Northern Attitude, and I don't remember what the gold is. It was just a mini that I thought looked good with the Northern Attitude. So let me show you a close-up. Standard issue, reinforced heel flap, vanilla sock, a good time. Took me, how many months is that? February, March, April, 3 months? Yeah. Here they are, vanilla socks. They are done, and now I can cast on my Midsummer Dancer socks, which I had you guys vote on the color for because I could not decide, and the winner was Hyacinth House. So my Midsummer Dancer socks will be Hyacinth House based on your suggestions. Thank you for helping me resolve that conundrum. All right, let's get into the whips because there are many. I'm actually gonna put these socks on now, but I will not be showing you that. So I went a little bit off the deep end with the whips as of late. I'm gonna start with the most boring and work our way up to the most exciting. Most boring, I don't think this one has really changed at all since you guys last saw it, so we will not be lingering. This is my dad's sweater by Emily Curtis in La Bien-Aimée Confetti Yellow Brick Road. This, I'm just working the round. Literally, I don't think I've done more than 5 rows on this since you last saw it. This is obviously more fall leaning in my mind, so I'm not really in a rush for this at all. It has taken the back burner. Next up, I'm very excited about this. My Olga jacket by Petite Knit. She has grown quite a bit since you last saw. I cast off the body. Body is done, and we have one sleeve, folks. Look at that, one sleeve right there. I have the other one on the needles. I will be bringing this one with me today to knit in the car. I'll try it on for you. Okay, here's it on currently. I love it so much. I'm so excited to have this done. This is the look. I think I should just cast it off now, actually. I'm so excited about this. It's definitely doing a little bit of curling in weird ways because it hasn't been fully blocked. I did a mid-project block for like here up. I'm knitting this in Pure Gint, by the way, and I love how Pure Gint blocks. It just like relaxes so beautifully and kind of fluffs up a little bit in a way that I find incredibly satisfying. So I think once this is blocked, and I might try to stretch the sleeve out a tiny bit, it hits like exactly at my wrist but I'd love if it was just like a tiny bit longer, like maybe right here. I think it's gonna be absolutely perfect. And then obviously we don't have button band or collar yet, so stay tuned, but I am very, very excited that this is getting some momentum here towards the finish line. This would be cute short sleeved. That is noted. Okay, I'm gonna take this off now, but I am very, very happy. Oh, I just love the ribbing, how the stripes continue into the ribbing. That's so cool. Oh, I'm very excited. I disrupted the claw clip. That is where my Olga jacket is at. I think we're making really good progress there, and I'm very happy about that. So that one's being knit up in Peer Gynt, as I said, in the colors Ochre, which is unfortunately discontinued. Don't get me started on that. And their Tutti Frutti Natural Confetti Tweed situation. It has like 3 different names. Every website I look at is a different name, so don't judge me. Yeah, I'm loving that project. It's been so much fun. I really am enjoying doing the stripes. The stripe repeat is 4 rows, so it's the perfect amount. Once you get to that 4th row, you're ready to switch, and then it's just like, it keeps you going. Really loving that project. I'm having so much fun with it, and I also cannot wait to wear that so soon. So next up, this I don't really have much to show you here, but this is the very beginnings of my Dagmar jacket. Also going to need to frog this and start over. So here's what I have. So Dagmar jacket, let's discuss. I am knitting this in Lion Brand Fisherman's Wool in the color Nature's Brown. This is a very heavily cabled cardigan. I went into this thinking, oh, I've done cables a few times, surely this won't be hard. This is a beast. So I'm making this project alongside my friend Yeji, who is Anmade Co. here on YouTube. I went over to Yeji's house last week so we could cast on together. Well, she already cast it on, so I could cast on and we could work on our projects together a little bit. And I have already screwed up the cable pattern several times, actually. Yeji was able to ladder back down and fix one of the mistakes, and then I found another one. And by that point, I was like, I need to start over, I fear. So it's not going great thus far. I fear I may have been a wee bit overconfident. So yeah, I think my game plan for this one is I'm just gonna take it real slow. This is gonna be another one where I'm like, it's done when it's done. If it doesn't get done, it doesn't get done. I want it to be done. I really do love this cardigan, and I'm very excited to have this as a finished object. I just think the process of knitting this is going to challenge me in ways I don't think I was fully prepared for. But I am very excited to be making this with Yeji. As I've said many times, Yeji is incredibly talented, and I'm glad I have somebody with so much skill and such an incredible knitter to kind of rely on for this project, and she's my emotional support human in this journey, and I can't wait to restart it and lock in and just figure this out, because I know I can do it. It's just gonna be something I kind of have to push through a little bit. I think once I get going, it'll be a lot easier. It's just this beginning setup situation that's kind of stressing me out a little bit, but once we get past this, I think it'll be smoother. I can do it, I think. We'll see. Okay, next up, I have a little project for you, but also, this is an acquisition. I'm going out of order here, I'm sorry. My friend Taylor designed this adorable little logo for La Mercerie, and they put it on these little pouches, which are available on the website, and I will have them linked. Look at how cute this is. This is incredible. Taylor is a graphic designer and just made this adorable little bag for La Mercerie. So I went over to Bainbridge for Mother's Day to meet my mom, and of course I had to stop by and say hi and also pick up, I think it's limited edition, don't quote me on that, but my very own little pouch, and I love it. It's also very high quality. Like, this is very thick canvas, and I like that it has that kind of 3D element to it, so it can stand on its own, and also it's just really freaking adorable, and I love it. I will have this pouch linked. I highly recommend you check it out if you are a fan of La Mercerie or Bainbridge Island or just cutesy little graphic design. But in here, I currently have my Romanticists bandana. So here's where I am. I'm starting the 3rd repeat out of 5 or 6. Bit less than halfway done, but I love how this is working up. I'm knitting this in Knitting for Olive Pure Silk in the color Sunflower. I'm holding it double, by the way, to meet gauge. I love this lace pattern. It looks like little flowers, and I just think it's beautiful. It'll obviously like be a bit easier to see once I block it, but even right now I think it's a really pretty lace repeat. Little bandana situation. situation, which I think is gonna be really cute. Obviously not with a claw clip in my hair, but I think it's gonna be so cute for the summer. I keep getting sunburnt on my scalp is a problem, so I'm glad I'm gonna have this to kind of protect my noggin a little bit this summer. Yeah, I'm very excited about this. It's working up so fast. I think I started this on Sunday. We're already almost to the halfway point. So loving this project. It's really easy once you get the lace pattern memorized and having a lot of fun with this. God, whatever is in my eye is like not coming out and I'm really trying not to freak out about it. Oh, okay. Oh, good Lord. Okay. All right. So my last whip currently is a test knit for the Sardine sweater by Sweater Weather Ceramics. So this is going to be a short sleeved sweater, little summer sweater moment, if you will, with a sardine motif, like suns in between the sardines. I'm very excited about this. I think it's so cute. So here's what I have so far. Not a ton going on here yet. So I've had to restart this 3 times, I think. Not for any fault of the pattern, but just because cotton yarn, this is cotton by the way, this is Rosa Pomar Mungo. It's a Portuguese recycled cotton blend, I believe. It's a delightful yarn and I'm really liking how it works up, but cotton yarns are just a little bit tricky to work with because they are not very forgiving. So I've been knitting with wool obviously like all winter, and so this is the first time I've worked with cotton in quite a while, so it was just a little bit of a relearning curve there. So I had to start it over once for that, and then a second time because I initially started with doing the yellow as the main color, the white as the accent, and then I decided that I actually wanted to do it the other way around. So I wanted the white main color, yellow accent. This way it'll be a little bit easier to pair with more things because it's a bit more neutral. Considering that it already is going to have like a quirky little motif, I wanted it to be just a little bit toned down so I could kind of interchange it to more outfits, you know? So I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I went back and did that. I also I feel like my technique is getting a little bit better. I also switched back to my bamboo needles actually, and I think that is helping as well. I thought the cotton would be easier on my new metal needles, which I will talk about in a moment, but I'm actually finding it's performing a lot better for me with my bamboo needles, and that again, it could just be because that's what I'm most comfortable knitting on is bamboo, but either way, I'm happy where we're at with this. The test knit runs through June 22nd, I think, so I have a little over a month to crank this out, and I'm pretty sure I can do it. Luckily, it's short sleeve, or else I think we would be in trouble, but I'm very excited to have this done and have the little fishies. Fish Girl Summer Part 2, guys. We're so back. But yeah, oh, I also did a little contrast on the collar, and I'm gonna carry that through all of the hems and cuffs. I just did 2 rows of contrast color just to kind of tie it all together in a cute little fashion. I don't know. I like doing that. But yeah, overall, my color work skills with this, because if you do recall, I made the halibut last year. That was last year's Fish Girl Summer contribution, which turned into Fish Girl Fall. It was Fish Girl Spring, and then it was Fish Girl Summer, and then it was Fish Girl Fall. That took 3 seasons to complete. It was a nightmare. But one of my main issues with the halibut was my color work skills were not up to par. I knit continental. I had a bit of trouble figuring out how to knit continental in color work because I cannot knit English. Some people just do continental with one color and then English with the other color. I literally could not get my hand to do that. It just wouldn't. So I had to figure out a way to hold both of my yarns in one hand because I was dropping and picking up like every stitch and it was just taking months. So with this one, I am doing my continental colorwork technique. I'll have the video linked. It's not my video, but it's what I've been using. And it is helping. It's a bit tricky with the ladder back jacquard because this pattern utilizes that technique. You can kind of see the ladders a little bit. They're forming. So it's been a little bit tricky with the ladder back jacquard, but I think I'm starting to get in the rhythm of it now and figuring out how to do that. And I thought the ladder back jacquard was going to be a lot harder to figure out than it actually is. It's very simple once you like figure it out. Oh, that was another reason I had to start over, because I did the ladder back jacquard without holding my main color in front when working the ladder stitch, and then you could see contrast color, which does in fact defeat the entire purpose of doing ladder back jacquard, so I had to start that over. I believe that was the 3rd start over. Got that figured out, we adjusted, and smooth sailing from here. I hope. Yeah, excited to have this done. I think it's going to be a really cute little addition to my summer knits. These little Trader Joe's mini pastel totes make excellent project bags, by the way. I only have 2 acquisitions. Very proud of myself. For my Maggie cardigan, I showed this already in a video briefly, but this is knitting for olive merino and compatible cashmere, both in the color poppy blue. I'm going to be holding these together for a Maggie cardigan, which I am not allowing myself to cast on until my Olga is done. I'm gonna hold myself to that because this is getting unreasonable. So I'm using half merino, half cashmere for this. I really wanted to do full Cardiff cashmere, and then I ran the numbers and realized I would never financially recover from that, so here we are. I think it's still gonna be a really nice mix. I knit up a swatch already in that yarn combo. I really like it. It's very soft. I think the drape is going to be really nice, and it's not see-through or anything, so we hit gauge and we're good to go, and I'm very excited. It's very soft still for only being half cashmere. I'm really happy with this combination of yarn, and I think it's a good alternative to doing the full Cardiff cashmere moment. Poppy blue, Maggie cardigan, casting on as soon as I finish my Olga, which hopefully will be very soon. Okay, my other acquisition, and again, I talked about this in another video, so I'm not gonna go too in-depth here, but I splurged on my first set of ChowGoo interchangeable needles, and I've had these for almost 2 weeks now, and I am really liking them. So I got the 5-inch full interchangeable set. So it goes from US 2.75 millimeter needles to up to US 15 10 millimeters. So it has the full range pretty much. I'm glad I got the full set because I think I would have regretted not doing that. They do sell like a half set, so you can just get the smaller sizes or just the bigger sizes, but I was like, if we're gonna send it, we're gonna send it, you know, might as well. I haven't had these for too long, as I said, so I can't like give a full review yet, but so far so good. I do think the 5-inch was a good choice for my wrists and my hands. It kind of gives my wrists a place to sit a little bit so they aren't just like up and activated the entire time. So I think that is helping with my fatigue and my wrist pain that I've been dealing with. So I think that was a good call, and honestly, to be so for real with you, I didn't realize there were 2 sizes. There's a 4-inch version or a 5-inch version of the like actual needles, so you can get the 5-inch interchangeables or the 4-inch interchangeables, and I just ended up with the 5 inches because I didn't realize. Clearly, I really do thorough research before I make big purchases. But I'm actually glad that happened because I do think it will help with my wrist situation, if you must. And yeah, overall, I'm liking the knitting experience with these. I'm really liking it with the silk, actually, which is, I think, a little bit backwards because silk is a slipperier fiber. So I thought I would like the silk on my bamboos and the cotton on the metal, but it ended up in practice being the exact opposite situation. So that's funny. And yeah, I haven't gotten to work. I guess I did a little bit of wool with these on the Dagmar situation, but that was more me fighting for my life with the cables, so I don't think I really like was paying attention to the knitting experience with that. I was just like locked in on the chart. I'll get back to you on that, but so far so good. I am happy with these. Oh my god, I didn't hit record. Okay, my camera died again and then I didn't hit record, so that is anyway, okay, where was I? Okay, so I am glad that I have this set in addition to my bamboo needles, my clover interchangeables, just to kind of swap out when it feels right. And it is a privilege to be able to have 2 full interchangeable sets, and I'm not saying that you need that by any means, but I am glad I can kind of like fall back on my clovers when I need them and then kind of add these in where it feels right and be able to experiment with both materials of needle. Because there are specific use cases for both, and personally, like, I'm figuring out what I like to use when, and it's been nice to have both options. So I am liking these so far. I don't feel like I can give a full Maddie approved stamp on these yet, but I'll keep you posted. If you guys want a full ChowGoo set review, let me know, but I do hope you do a little bit more research than I did. I just kind of panicked because I heard a lot of discourse about ChowGoo's increasing in price because of all of the tariffs. Don't get me started. I'm not gonna get started. So I did panic a little bit and want to grab these before the price increased by like 15%. I picked these up from Yarn Dragon in Pike Place Market, which is a really cool little yarn store in Pike Place, which I had no idea was even there, but they had some really unique blends of yarn. By the way, they had like camel yarn. I've never seen that before in my life. It was very soft. I recommend you go check them out for sure. Yeah, I'm glad I picked these up. I'm glad I'm able to kind of figure out what I like when and sort of adjust my needles according to the project. I think that's been nice to have a bit more flexibility in that way. Yeah, let me know if you want a full review on these. I will do that for you in a few months once I've had a chance to work with them more. Okay, those were my only acquisitions, which I feel good about because I don't need any more yarn. So that concludes our knitting portion of events today. I'm just going to talk about my current favorites now. Thank you for being here. If you're just here for the knitting stuff, I'll see you next time. But if you want to get into a few things I have been loving lately, let's do that. Oh, also, garden update. I was going to start including at the end of my podcast episodes like a garden update. Didn't film that this week, so you're gonna have to hang tight for that. Things are going good though. We're getting, I say we because I've been gardening with a couple friends this year, which has been really fun. So we've been getting everything like mapped out and getting our seedlings planted now, so things are looking really good. I am having a bit of a bunny issue this year. I planted a dill plant, came back the next day, and it was like it was gone. They like chewed it into such a little nub that it virtually had no trace of ever being there. So gonna need to figure out some sort of bunny proofing situation. I've been such an ally to the bunnies. Like, I feel betrayed. I've done nothing but support you. And this is how you treat me? No, it's part of it. Like, we share nature with animals, so I'm not like upset about it, but I would like to prevent as much of that from happening as possible. So right now I have what I'm calling my deranged bunny barrier of marigolds. I just have marigolds like around the perimeter of the garden. I don't know if that's doing anything, but it seemed whimsical, so I went for it. So next video I will actually get some footage at the garden so you guys can see where everything is at. The sweet peas are coming along nicely. I'm about to start fertilizing them, so they should be really taking off here pretty soon. Hang tight for that. Garden footage will be at the end of the next podcast episode. Sorry about that. But in terms of my current favorites, I have a few. So first of all, one of my friends actually started a candle company, which is awesome. So it's called Pollen and Paws Candles. And their whole thing is that their candles are pet safe, which is amazing. I mean, I have a cat, as we know. So a lot of candles have essential oils and stuff that are actually toxic to animals. So their whole mission at Pollen and Paws is to make candles that are healthy for your pets and yourself. So all of the scents and everything are pet safe. And then they also use a beeswax base in their candles. So this is the Apple Columbia Crisp candle. And it smells like apple cider. It's delightful. They do wood wicks and everything, which is beautiful. Super healthy little candle option if you want to support my friend's new business. Very happy for her. She's having a lot of fun with this, and they're beautiful candles. I love a wood wick. It just like crackles in a way that's so satisfying. And I really love that they're making pet safety a priority. They also stamp a little bee on the inside of the lid shut up. That is so cute. Very thoughtfully designed. Candles from Pollen and Paws have been one of my current faves. Highly recommend. They will be linked. I have a new favorite YouTube channel. I have been obsessed with this YouTube channel called Shitty Book Club. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Shitty Book Club, it's this person named Ansley, and it's exactly what it sounds like. They just read shitty books and then talk about them ad nauseum in like hour-long plus videos. And it is incredible content to just put on and knit. We have a very similar sense of humor, myself and Ansley. So their commentary just really speaks to me. I really, really appreciate the profound observations they have on these literary masterpieces. It's incredibly funny. If you're looking for anything to just put on in the background while you're knitting, check out Shitty Book Club. I cannot emphasize enough how hilarious Ansley's commentary is. Cannot recommend enough, truly. Oh my god, I think my favorite was their 50 Shades of Grey video. Oh my god. I haven't laughed that hard at a video in quite some time. It was incredible content. Okay, this is very random, but these protein shakes that I got at Costco have kind of changed my life, and I'm kind of being serious. They're called Nuri, and their whole thing is that they taste like a milkshake. And I swear to God, they actually do. I don't eat enough protein in general because I have immense guilt every time I eat meat. And I know there's like other protein sources, but just like as somebody who is an omnivore, that's generally where I'm getting protein from, is meat and lentils and such. I have just immense guilt every time I eat animal products. There's a lot to unpack there. We don't need to get into it. But point being, I don't eat enough protein, ever. It's been an issue my entire life. So I'm always looking for ways to get more protein, but most protein shakes are like revolting. Pre-pandemic, I actually was really into lifting. Shocker, I know. I could squat like 200 pounds, like it was intense. I took it very seriously, and then the world ended. Haven't picked that back up. But anyway, so I've like drank my fair share of protein shakes. I feel I have authority to speak on this matter, okay? Most protein shakes are disgusting. Like they're chalky, they're gross, they taste bad. And that was always sort of like, I would just chug it and move on with my life. But these are actually delicious. I don't know how they did it. It tastes like a milkshake. I think I'm a little bit more into the vanilla flavor, actually. The chocolate is very good. It tastes like chocolate milk. It is a delight. But there's something about the vanilla that's just like refreshing. They have like 30 grams of protein a can, 1 gram of sugar, but they taste like a milkshake. What is this witchcraft? I don't understand it, but I appreciate it greatly. So if you are in a similar situation where you just are not consuming enough protein, but also don't want to subject yourself to drinking chalk, check these out. They're kind of expensive, but I think it's worth it personally for how good they taste. Your first sip, you're gonna get like a little bit of that artificial sweetener. I don't think it's artificial sweetener. I think it's like monk fruit, but you're gonna get a little bit of that like, that's not quite sugar. But then as you keep drinking it, that just goes away entirely. I can't even tell the difference. So it's incredible. I don't know how they're doing this, but I bow before them and thank them immensely. Check them out. They're at Costco, fun fact. Okay, and then last up, in terms of music, I'm having a Lorde Pure Heroine renaissance currently, which is in fact because Lorde has a new album coming out. Album is called Virgin. Will that get me demonetized? I don't think so. Lorde has a new album coming out, which is bringing me back to life currently. I've been a Lorde stan since I was 12, I think, and I saw her for the first time in Teen Vogue, and I just fell in love with her instantly. Like everything about her is just so freaking cool. I've been a Lorde fan from way back, and I really love everything she puts out. In addition to Pure Heroine, I am also a Solar Power defender until I die. I love that album. It has stayed in my top Spotify top songs. At least one of the songs from Solar Power has been in there since it came out. Big fan of Solar Power, but for some reason right now I'm really leaning into the Pure Heroine. I think because the new album sounds more melodrama Pure Heroine than Solar Power. So yeah, lately I've been listening to a lot of Pure Heroine, also a lot of Solar Power. Also melodrama. I can't talk about melodrama because I will not shut up, so I'm not even gonna start. It's just such a good album, and I just can't believe how young she was when she put this album out, and like how vocally talented she was from such a young age and so early in her career. I'm obsessed with Lorde, so I'm very excited for the new album. I can't wait to talk about it with you guys, and that's what I've been listening to as of late. A lot of Lorde, as per usual. But yeah, I think that was all of my favorites for today. Thank you guys for bearing with this kind of rapid fire episode. I do need to get going here because it's like 11 o'clock and I wanted to be on the road already. So I'm gonna wrap this up. I will be taking you guys with me for the Puget Sound LYS tour, so you will be seeing that probably next week. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed. And until I see you again, be well, go forth and prosper. I'm working on it, okay? We're getting better at the outros, slowly.